Right, so if you're coming to Reykjavik for the first time, then this video is for you. In this video, I'll go over everything you need to know about our little city. And here's what I'm gonna tell you. How is Reykjavik laid out? Is it walkable? Where should a first-time visitor stay? What can you realistically do in half a day or a full day? What Reykjavik is like in winter versus summer? The parking situation? And some of the best things to see and do both in the city and just outside of it. No fluff or anything like that, just straight to the point. So let's get to it. Now let's start with how Reykjavik is laid out, because this is something the first-time travelers tend to overthink. Most of what you want to do and see is concentrated in a small area called the city center, or what we locals call it 101 Reykjavik, because of the postcode. This is where you find the main shopping street, cafes, museums, the harbor, Harpa, Hallgrímskirkja, all that stuff. Outside of the city center, Reykjavik quickly becomes very residential. And even though there are things to do outside the city center, like the open air museum in Árbæjarsafn, or in the winter time you can go to the winter market in Hafnarfjörður, which is the best. If you're coming to Reykjavik for the first time and only staying a few days, then just stay in the city center for now. Now, the city center is very walkable, and most things are in 10 to 20 minute walking distance. But once you get out of the center, Reykjavik is very much a car-centric city. But in the center, most major sites are very close together, and walking is the best way to experience it. If you want to go outside the city center, you can take the bus. They take contactless and they're fairly easy to use, or you can take a taxi. Now, the taxis are more convenient and faster, but they are, of course, more expensive. So I recommend you either walk or use the public transport. We also have plenty of scooters, which makes it fast, easy, and cheap to hop around the city center. If you're coming to Reykjavik for the first time, staying in the city center or very close to it is ideal. If you don't know exactly what that means, here is an example. Everything within that ring, I would say, is the city center. Hotels, guest houses, apartments, Airbnbs are very common in that area. If you're on a tighter budget, it definitely gets cheaper once you get outside that circle, but make sure to check the walking distance and the bus routes before booking. Reykjavik can feel much bigger if the weather is bad. Visiting Reykjavik in the wintertime is obviously a lot different than in the summertime. If you come in the winter, that'll mean short daylight hours, cold and windy weather, and sometimes a cozy city vibe. The upside is fewer crowds and the chances to see the northern lights even in the city center. But in terms of what to do, honestly, summer and winter are very similar. You'll just have to be better dressed in the wintertime. So think museums, cafes, swimming pools, food experiences, walking tours, and anything else you can find. And if you come in the winter, it's very important that you're well dressed, because Reykjavik can get very windy and chilly. But you can definitely travel light and save money and space in the bag by renting everything you need at icelandcover.com. Use the code REYKJAVIK2DO for 10% off at Iceland Cover. Now, moving on to summer, this is where Reykjavik really comes alive. From late May to late August, you'll have extremely long days. I mean, the sun barely sets. I mean, it technically does, but honestly, you're not gonna notice it. Essentially, prepare for 24 hours of daylight. And as I mentioned earlier, people do the same activities as they do in the wintertime, just in better weather. The weather is definitely mild rather than warm, but it's great for exploring on foot. And Reykjavik definitely feels busier, brighter, and more social in the summertime. Now, one of the best ways to experience Reykjavik is to do a food walking tour. Because we have so many restaurants and foods, there are tons of places to eat in downtown Reykjavik, so it's hard to know which way to go. We highly recommend our friends at Food Walk Reykjavik, and it should be the first thing you do when you arrive in town. That way, you'll get to experience the city and also eat good food. Now, even though Reykjavik is small, there are some must-see spots, like Hallgrímskirkja, which is probably our most famous landmark. You got Harpa by the ocean side. Then you can walk along the ocean and look across the bay, which is gorgeous if the weather is right. Walk around town, enjoy some of the graffiti and paintings. And I personally like to take a walk around the pond. And also, here's a bunch of other things to do and see. And of course, if you like museums or the weather's terrible, there are a bunch of them in Reykjavik. If you're a first-time visitor, it's best to choose maybe one or two that match your interests. And here's a list of some museums I recommend. Now, if you only have half a day in Reykjavik, just keep it simple. Walk around, enjoy the sights, go to a museum or a landmark, and do a food walk. You can definitely squeeze a lot in if you only have a few hours. But with a full day, you can absolutely slow down a bit. You can add to the activities, you can go whale watching, you can do the food walk, which is something we always recommend. Of course, see more sights, or you can just take it easy, walk around town, see how you feel. But you can absolutely, easily fill a day in Reykjavik. Now there's plenty to do festival-wise in Reykjavik all year round. Summer, events are more outside, while winter, inside, obviously. So if your trip lines up with an event, you should definitely check it out. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot going on, but here's a list of some events that I think you might like. Now, if you want to get outside Reykjavik, here are some suggestions. Many travelers use Reykjavik as a base, going out and exploring during the day and then coming back in the evening. Now for the parking situation, which I know can confuse some people, but it's super simple. You have 3 zones, P1, P2, P3. There's also a P4, but that's not in a lot of places, usually around hospitals, so I hope you don't have to use those. You can see a sign at the corner of each street to see what zone it is. P1 is the most expensive and the most centrally located, usually on the main street. You can only park there for 3 hours at a time, and you need to pay for parking from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. during the week, while on the weekends it's 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. So outside of those hours, it's free. Then for P2, it's slightly cheaper, and it's not on the main road, but on the side roads. So it's still very centrally located, just not as centrally. Again, on weekdays, it's 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. and on weekends, 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. Now, P3 is not as centrally located as the other two, but honestly, in my opinion, it's still super central. I mean, instead of walking 4 minutes, you're walking 7 or 8. It's not that big of a change, and I always recommend you park in a P3. Now, there's a slight difference here. The first 2 hours are a set price, and then every hour after that is super cheap. You have to pay for parking. During the week, you have to pay for parking from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., and it's free on the weekends. I would highly recommend that you download a parking app, like Parka or Easy Park. It makes the parking experience a lot easier, and it's super easy to use with parking garages. You always want to make sure that you're paying for parking and that you're not doing anything illegal, like parking in front of a driveway or parking in the opposite direction of traffic. So if you're driving on the right-hand side, you have to park with the traffic. You can't turn around, if that makes sense, and then park in that direction. And if you do get a ticket, you want to try and pay it as fast as you can, because you do get a discount. And that's it. I hope you have a better understanding of what you can do and what to expect from Reykjavik. And if you have any more questions, go ahead and drop a comment and we'll answer you there. And again, if you need outdoor clothes so you can enjoy Reykjavik, you can rent everything at icelandcover.com. Use the code Reykjavik to do for 10% off at Iceland Cover. But that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video.